You are listening to Two Heels and a Face Wrestling Podcast, a podcast where we believe wrestling is a buffet and there's something there for everyone. Make sure you're following us on all social media such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook under Two Heels and a Face. That's number 2 Heels and a Face. Make sure you check out our website, twoheelsandaface.com.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Cris and Charley Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, we have an old friend, probably on his way to pass Steve from Warrior. On appearances here. He's had a couple. He's on a streak now, and he's also everywhere and anywhere at all times, doing all sorts of things. The man of many hobbies. I don't know how he has energy to pull this off. Trent Zuberi. Trent, how are you today?
Gentlemen, great. I'm on the road on the East Coast right now. But yeah, listen, I have to be close on that record, the appearance record now, right? But I mean, I should have kept count. I should have kept a count. But we can go back and look, right? You guys can go back and count my appearances.
We can do that. But honestly, I think you surpassed Steve at this point.
Sorry, Steve. You know, I was hoping the intro was going to have that little song you guys have, that era, two heels and a face. What is that?
It might. you know who that is? That's Sam Meadowood.
Oh, is it really? That's Sam?
That's Sam.
He's a voice actor. That's what he does.
Yeah, we had him on, and Chris and I were like, okay, let's get Sam to do this, because then we're just gonna rip it and use it. And I told Sam when you start making money, he's got royalties on the way. We're just awesome. We're just not at that point yet.
I apologize in advance for my setup. I'm on the road. I don't have my podcast mic, my nice camera, so I'm making do with what I got on the road. So just putting that out there to the viewers of the clips they're going to see on Instagram. Just putting that out there, everybody.
Yeah, no worries.
Such a pro.
I try to be, man. I try.
Are you still doing the Impact Pod?
I just came back for a few episodes the last month for the summer.
Okay.
Like it doesn't really work with my schedule much, and I pulled away because I'm busy with AAW. I got to stay focused on that, but
sure.
And it was too much of a conflict of interest. But it's so much more of a morning zoo type of show, that podcast. So I just had time. I popped in. The guys they were all holding it down. I just pop in when I can. So I'll probably I did the last 3 weeks, and then I'm out again because my schedule is just back to what it was. So yeah, just here and there. It's got a Patreon, it's got all sorts of stuff, but the team handles that. I really have very little to do with it nowadays.
Yeah. So for people listening who don't know who the heck Trent is or what you're in store for, we're going to talk a lot about AAW, especially AAW Destination Chicago, happening September 1st. Tickets are still available. We'll have the link in the description and on twoheelsandaface.com. Trent is producer extraordinaire. He does Trent things. He does many things. He's here to give us the lowdown on what we've missed, because it's been a little bit since we talked, and then a little preview of the card as well to get you satiated for AAW action. Before we do that, Chris, I just want to check in with you and see how are you doing, man.
Hey, I'm doing all right. I'm holding it down. I made it to another recording. That's a win.
Yes.
Scheduling definitely.
Scheduling sucks right now.
Yeah. It's a little tricky, but we're still here, man. Episode, what is this? 226 or something like that?
Wow, It's a lot of episodes. I like your shirt, Chris. What a nice Look at the shirt he's got on.
Well, I mean, I had to go and meet the teachers today for going back to school. So
how was
a little something special?
How did she do? She did her report card or no?
Well, no, it's just so first day is Thursday, this upcoming Thursday.
So these are new teachers.
Meet the teachers, get to know the classroom. She's just going to second grade, so so that parenting thing, and yeah, that's what went down today right before jumping on the pod too.
Very nice. Awesome. Very nice. He looks classy. Charlie, you might have to up your game here, man.
No,
you might have to start wearing a suit to these shows.
No, there's no way. I am the work from home grind, and I think you understand it as well. You can catch me at all sorts of. Sometimes I'm showered, sometimes I'm not. I don't
know what clip. Like Carla was sitting here over the weekend. I was working, and she went through, I guess, our Instagram, and she's like, Is Charlie wearing a tank?
Like Charlie just stopped trying now. It's just whatever, man.
I had a tank on for the Robert Ego Anthony episode. Well, I've been rocking tanks this summer a lot, just like around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
My thought process was like, yeah, like if we're gonna talk, like he's a buff guy, he's got like a fitness YouTube channel. It's since switched, but I was like, yeah, I'll bust out the guns for this one. And I think he even made a comment on it too. He did.
So the other, and I'll pull Carla on the spot. The other Carla comment on Charlie was, she saw the Snapchat that you posted this weekend, and I'm like, oh, that's the Bad Bunny concert, and she's like, no, that's probably Kendrick, because Kendrick Lamar was here on Friday, and
he was,
yeah, at the United Center.
Oh, do you see? Okay,
yeah, and then she was like, I'm like no, I'm sure that's Soldier Field. I'm like, but does he even understand the songs?
I don't.
Like, come on, Carla, come on. It's Bad Bunny. Everybody likes that guy. Sometimes I don't know why, but my kids like it too. So
spoiler alert, I don't know any of the words. But if you could just move so Margaret, it was the initiator on that, and I went because she'll go to stuff. She went to like a Weezer concert for me. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Bad Bunny. It was wild time. So you just got to be able to move your hips and you're set. And then the right amount of whatever your vices also help. But it was a wild time.
Did you run to Axel Rico while you're at this concert? Did you run to Axel Rico? Doesn't he come out to Bad Bunny?
No. Oh, does he? No.
I think he does.
I'm just getting familiar with that guy, in honesty, but I know he's up and coming.
You should put him on your show. He's entertained. But he every story Axel Rico posts, it's that damn song. It's that. I'm like, I can't understand what the fuck he's saying. I'm like, is he just slurring words? I'm like, every story Axel Rico
60% of that, yes, it's just mumbling things.
He sounds like he's singing with his nose plugged.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. What is this song, man? But Axel Rico's funny. Put the kid on. He's pretty good. He's entertaining.
Awesome. We'll add him to the list. I mean, the list is never ending.
Oh, I bet.
And then there's Trent that comes in, which we want, and the mainstays like they jump to the front of the list, so then everyone gets pushed back a week. But we want to have you on because we haven't. I need to catch up. I need you to help me to catch up. Talk about AAW. So there's been about since we talked, I think there's been, if you exclude the live shows, which there has been a handful of those.
Yeah.
There's been about 5-ish main shows since we've spoken, like the spring-ish summer. So the last time we talked might have been like February.
Oh wow, it's been a while, huh? Okay.
It goes quick. It goes like before you know it, like it's like, oh shit. So and I felt bad too because like I want to. It's hard to be. We made it a point to focus on more interviews this year, and we also did we tried to get on a bi-weekly schedule. Mm-hmm. So in the past, we could not in 1 month we could knock out a freelance show, an AEW show, a Zella show, and like an interview, like a buffet line. Like we could do that in the past. Now with 2 episodes a month, say, and we're focusing them on interviews, we haven't done a ton of show previews. So like we need to catch up. We need you to help us catch up. We had Stephen Wolf on, who's been in a lot of AEW stuff as of the past couple of years. We had Fitchett. That was January.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which was one of my favorite episodes ever, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because it was we didn't really send him through the buffet line, not that we needed to, but we were just kind of riffing. Some of our really good episodes are us just kind of riffing questions, and they're all hitting, which is hard to do, I think, especially if you don't have a ton of in-person rapport. And we didn't have a ton with him. We have met him in person before, but it was like also like 3 years before we had this January conversation. So, but we kept bringing up like stuff about that interview that we did like 3-4 years ago. And then he started to like kind of remember it. And we've seen so much of his journey that I think it just ended up being like a really, really good output.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that episode with Fitch a lot. That was a lot of fun, and because he doesn't do a ton, so that was good. And the Stephen Wolf one also was great because they both have a lot of history with us, and it's always nice to hear their side of stuff too. So yeah, very nice. Thanks for doing those. I enjoy them.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a huge. It's hard for us to spread the love around, I think, and also accomplish other things we want. So Now is the time. So now is the AAW catch up. We prepared an agenda, and we have some questions. So there's been all these shows. Yes. And speaking of just talking about Matt Fitchett, I wanted to get your. So now he's in his title run, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to get your opinion on how the title run has been going. But I guess let's start there. Just in general, what comes to your mind? How's his title run been going?
So Fitchett's not an indie darling, right? It's like he's not one of those guys who's like top of list for a lot of people and they first think of indie darlings. But he's the guy when you mention him, people are like, hell yeah, Matt Fitchett. And like, and that's fine. That's, he's kept his career progression, being online, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. However, if you watch his growth from winning the title last year to now, just watch his promos. Just watch the growth in the ring, the confidence he walks out with, the complete leveling up he's done. To me, that's been the sign of a successful title run. I think like he's taken on everybody. So he's had a ton of matches. It's just amazing. The defenses left and right. But to me, the icing on the cake was not only has he done great for us, but Impact Wrestling came to town for the Emergence and pay-per-view and their TV tapings, and they invited AAW to be represented at their tapings, and they said, we would like to feature a title match. So in an Impact ring, Matt Fitchett defended the AAW championship against Manders. And to me, I was talking to him, I said, what an amazing sign of respect to the company, to you, that, when they come to this town, they came to us. They came to AAW to do this, and they said, hey, it's your town. We want to respect you guys and feature you guys on our taping. And I thought that was really cool. And he looked great. They both look great. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, how does it feel for you? I mean, a guy who started in the company 11 years ago, to be representing us on a national stage in another company, like having our belt in their ring was very unique, actually. Like that's never happened. Yeah. You're the guy to do it. And he just couldn't believe it. He's like, I can't believe, like, he's like, I never think about any successes. I never think about these things. It's crazy that they're happening. I never thought these things would happen. He grew up pretty tough. He had a tough life. So you could see that tough life come out in him sometimes. You could see that humbleness also at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then just that hard work, man. The guy works super hard. And like his matches against like, Manders and Fred, it's like, oh my God, like this guy's been through a lot of shit. And to me, it's pretty awesome, man. I admire the guy just as a human being. I think he works so hard. So I enjoy. I think his title reign has been a really fun one to see. Just the growth of a human being, let alone a wrestler. That's been awesome.
Yeah, you guys really put him through the gamut, I think. And looking at the results of all these shows, it's been like people like Laredo Kid and Manders, who are like the it wrestlers now, and then also like Eric Young. Yeah. So he's had like the old and the new guard. So you guys have really, if you were to like lay, it would be like a gauntlet, honestly, of title defenses.
Absolutely. And he welcomes it. The cool thing is he fought Eric Young at a pay-per-view, right? He fought Eric Young, defended the title. It was after that Eric was like, hey, we need to like that was legit. Like Eric's like, this kid needs to like be seen. Like he took me to the task at that match. Yeah. And that's where this came from. Like that started there. Like that little buzz started of like Eric Young was like, wow, that kid's legit. Like that was amazing. Like he worked me, and Eric didn't know him prior. They had never crossed paths. So, and again, like I said, he's not online all the time. He's working. He's raising a family. Like, right. So Eric was like, holy shit, like I gotta look at this kid. And that's where that ball started rolling. So that show of respect was awesome. For me to see that for a guy who was a friend, somebody I've worked with, I was really proud of him to see that.
That's awesome. Is anything coming up in store for, we're getting to, I'm not trying to have you drop anything or predict anything, but we're getting kind of towards the end of the year. Is there anything coming up? Could we see him maybe in some kind of feud or struggle that may last us into like kind of the finale, or you got anything coming up for him?
Well, we still have Destination Chicago, and his match has not been announced. So
Okay.
he has not been announced yet. So you'll see what's going on there. We're confirming things. Contracts are on the table, But yeah, I mean, obviously our title has to be defended on the show. So you'll see what's going on. You'll see what's going on with that pretty soon. So I mean, the show's only a week away. Like it's a week and a day away. It's like 8 days away or 9 days away. So it's coming up, man. So you'll get all that info pretty soon.
Awesome. Chris furiously jots down when he has to release this episode as the 9-day ticker starts.
It's coming, man. I mean, this is definitely turn this around quick because like that's before you know it, it's here.
Sorry, Chris.
And before you know it, we're gonna have the JLMT in front of us as well.
Yes, look, we got September 1st is Destination Chicago, and then the lineup is October 14th and 15th. Like it's in October. I mean, it's just. It might seem like a month and a half away, but I mean, you finish one, and like that's a double weekend. So like we're planning for 2 shows, like the next day it starts. So
it's gonna come so quick. It's gonna come so quick. I know. Yeah. And I don't want to have a perfect bracket again this year to show anybody up. It's not my intention ever. But if it happens, it happens. So.
You showed that off for you rode that wave until Christmas at least last year.
I will continue to do that. That's one of my proudest achievements. It'll be on my tombstone.
Perfect.
I think it's currently on your LinkedIn, I believe.
Yeah.
Under the awards and certifications, it's like perfect JLMT.
It was like, well, it was it was the one that Fatu canceled, but like I had it all.
Yeah.
Pending before cancellation, I had it all mapped out.
Fair enough. You get a buy because of the Fatu.
Thank you. Cancellation. Another person I wanted to bring up just to kind of catch up on. We're really catching up on like I feel like what has been the heart of your roster and kind of looking at some of these results. Yeah. So it feels like you guys have really relied, and I say that on this person who's been it seems like an absolute staple, and that's the Manders, the one called Manders. I guess if you want to, if that is his official ring name. But can you just talk about him and why have you been so confident in putting him in all these different types of situations and like main event situations?
I think there's no one I've seen go from coming to the shows to get a look, to get a meeting with Danny, to just meet people. I mean, literally, the guy was like, "Hey, you don't know me, but I'd love to work here someday." I've never seen a guy go from that to where we've put him so quickly. Purely based on not only how hard he works, like that guy, I mean, he's a road warrior. He would drive alone 16, 20, 30 hours to make a booking. And we respect that as people, you respect it. Also, he's an extremely decent guy. Like he's an extremely good human being to everybody he comes across. And that's one thing that, you remember those things. You're like, man, this kid works hard. He shows up. He's dressed right. He looks like $1 million when he comes in. He looks proper. He shakes everyone's hand, has proper conversation, and he works. He busts his ass. Any opportunity we've given Manders, he's taken full advantage of and ran with it. That's what I'll say. He's never looked at an opportunity that we've given him as it's just an opening match. Oh, it's just no big deal. It's just a tag match, like whatever. Phoned it. He's never phoned anything in. I've never seen Manders phone a single thing in, ever. Like he's gone all out, and he's so appreciative of the opportunities that he just continues to work hard. And I think to me, it's somebody you can count on. As a promoter, I'm not the owner. I'm a producer, but from a promoter standpoint, from somebody who works for the company, it's someone you can count on. I can count on this guy to have a good match, to show up, to be there, to look proper, to put the work in, do what I've asked of him. That's it. It's like I have confidence. And it's like, I've never had a pushback. Hey, I need a promo. I need another promo. I need a promo here. Never a pushback. Whatever you need, let's do it. How can you not kind of attach your wagon to that? So it's great. To me, he's an ideal professional wrestler to have on your roster.
Yeah, and just looking back at, like I said, I was like just looking at the results of the last 5-ish main shows. It was like steel cage match, number one's contenders match. I mean, he's held, I think, tag gold, I want to say.
One time, Matt Justice had the tag team title.
I mean, he's really built. So we talk about resumes. He's really built his, like, he's added like 5 bullet points to his resume, I think. Yeah. Probably, maybe even first timers for him. I don't know like what he's wrestling before, but it's pretty cool.
To me, that just shows it's evident of he's doing it the right way. He wasn't fast tracked anywhere. Some guys, you see it, they get fast tracked at the top, and there's no foundation to hold their career there. Manders leveled up, properly, level by level by level. He didn't just go right to level 50 exactly. And say, "Well, I'm here now." Like, I mean, it's the journey, man. Within the journey, you learn too. Within that journey, you learn, you hone your skills, you work out the kinks, you figure out your problems, and that's to me, it's part of the fun. He's in no rush. He told me, "I'm in no rush to get a contract. I'm in no rush to get to the." He wants to be the absolute best he can be when he gets to each level. So to me, that's the right attitude to have. And honestly, if anybody's listening to this ever meets the guy or has a moment to talk to him, do it, because you'll come away with it, feeling pretty good because he's a good guy.
That's awesome.
So we have we just talked about Manders and kind of like becoming that staple, that go-getter, good attitude, put in the work. I'll eventually get there, but here I am. But then we also have a big name like Silas Young coming back.
Yeah, man.
And what does that do to the roster? Obviously, like, there's a lot of experience that comes with that. There's a lot of, ideas, and in him, right, coming back to a sense, coming back home.
Dude, to me, one of the greatest things I've seen, and we joked, right? We joked for one on the air about how, like, the wrestling, like, it's such a, it's a make-believe world, but but it has such such real drama and such real emotions in it. To me, one of the best things ever is when I see a guy like Silas Young, who's doing this for 20 plus years. He's in the back and he takes interest to guide a younger wrestler, something like, "Hey kid, try this. I'm going to watch your match. Try this." Man, that veteran touch is like that's unmatched. Like, there's no dollar amount you can place on when you see a guy like Silas take a rookie aside and say, "Listen, I saw you out there. Try to do this. Next time work this or try that." Like, that to have in my locker room is gold, because I want positivity to flow like that, because whoever he's telling that to, Levi Everett or whatever, Levi Everett's going to grow up one day and do that, and that just creates positivity throughout the industry. So Silas Young might be dastardly as shit in the ring, but not to kill his character or anything, but I'm just saying, but you know what? The guy cares about the growth of the industry, and he truly wants to guide. If he sees something he could help, that's awesome to me. That to me is like, I want that in the locker room. And dude, you're talking 20 plus years of a guy who's been all over the place and who could still go. That's the other thing. The guy can still go. The match with Manders, the cage match with Manders, I couldn't believe the shit he was doing. I mean, he's not that old. I mean, he's in his 40s. He's not that old or anything. But it's like, he's doing it for half your life. I mean, you've been through a lot. His body's taken more bumps than a Manders has, for example, but didn't slow him down, man. That guy, that veteran knowledge is just something remarkable when you see it in that play. It's awesome.
It's cool to hear a story like that, because when I see Silas in the ring, he's just he's the hard ass, and he puts on the persona. That's why I think his character got over, because it's also like there's a little bit of comedy in there, but like everyone bought into that last real man gimmick. I think
it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's cool to see he has that soft side.
Well, part of being a real man is that too, like giving a shit. To me, that is an aspect of it. And I said, I've seen him be hard too. Like, he's not just some like, "Oh, hey, good match." Like, he's telling him, like, you did this wrong. You need to do it like this. And I mean, he's not doing it rudely, but he's telling him, like, this is how it needs to be done. If you want to get better, this is what you need to do. And he'll advise people. Like, to me, that's a veteran, man. That's exactly the kind of veteran you want. And we want to keep a healthy balance. Any locker room should do this. You need a healthy balance of veterans, mid-career, and then rookies who all are there to help each other out, and Younger guys drive the older guys guide the younger guys. Everybody's kind of leveling up at the same time. You need a healthy, it's like an ecosystem in a locker room. You cannot tip that scale too much. You need to have it level set, so you are constantly feeding the machine like that.
That's a really cool comparison. I never really thought about that. Just the whole roster basically, and putting,
an ecosystem.
Yeah, putting like years experience next to each and having that kind of balance out. So that does make sense though.
Well, think about this, right? You have a locker room that's full of people who have been in the business under 5 years. Now, yeah, you're going to get out there. You have a bunch of flip matches, a bunch of fun, and whatever. It might not be a bad show, but for the growth of the ecosystem, how do people who are all at the same level, how do you level up if you're all at the same level? You need people who are beyond you to bring you up, to guide you. You need that. Then you need that tier to bring the next one up. It's all leveling, and it's all keeping a healthy balance. And at the same time, it's identifying in your locker room who are those players going to be, who are not good for the ecosystem, who need to leave, who need to move on, who need to be shifted. I mean, there's all sorts of things to play. And the wrestling isn't just booking matches like this guy versus this guy. It's like, no, like you're booking a locker room at the same time, So that's part of it too. That's something that I think needs to be considered when you're putting something together.
For sure. Someone who I think has gotten a lot of has been leveling up in terms of wins recently, and has gotten a strung together son, who is a person that as much as we hold Matt Fitchett close to our heart, we hold this individual close to our heart, and that's Davey Vega. He's kind of coming up on it seems like coming up into and vying for that a heritage title again, which I believe he will let people know that he's won before. I wanted to get your opinion on like how his current and latest singles run has been. I know he's had some help this time too. He seems to always be coming out with Hartbauer or some sort of manager. Can you touch on like how his spring summer has been with the singles run?
So first off, I want to say about his first heritage title run. If you noticed, a couple years ago, we were doing On This Day in AAW history, and it was like we were putting out the old title photos and putting out like epic shows, whatever thing happened on that day, which is a lot of history. Davey Vega's heritage title win was purposely skipped because it's Davey Vega, and we never acknowledged this.
Oh my God, the disrespect.
But no, look, Vega, the split of the besties needed to happen. It did at the time. I think it needed to because these guys needed to prove to themselves, right? Like you were singles guys, you teamed up, you became stars, and now it's like, okay, can I do this on my own? And they did amicably. Like they were like, hey, let's give these singles things a run. Vega has Bravo, Hartenbauer, Sean Logan in his corner. It's a posse. Like he rolls with the crew, Right. But Davey, again, look at the confidence of how he walks out. To me, it's not just part of the show. That's the human being in there too. There's a confidence in how you walk out, how you do it. Look, Vega's promos. You go look at a promo from a few years ago and look at how it's not just the skill set, it's the confidence of how he delivers it. Yeah. To me, Vega like leveled up in terms of his just knowing who you are. Even talking to him, like I talked to him one-to-one, it's like this is a different guy. So I think you also on that note, you have Johnny Bravo who's there guiding you in a sense. It's not just like this is not just an on-screen manager. John Bravo is a veteran of the industry. He's been around for almost 25 plus years, going on 30 years in the business, right? Yeah. He's one of the head guys at Impact Wrestling. I mean, he's seen it all. He works with some of the top names in the industry. That's the kind of guy. I mean, he does production at Impact, live event. He's managing. He's on TV. That's the guy you want to. If that guy's giving you advice and stand like this, try walking out like that, take a pause here, look at the camera. That's true. That's like invaluable. Stuff you can get. So having that, I mean, that's great. Also, at the same time, Hartenbauer and Sean Logan are getting brought up as a part of it too. Like they're part of that. They're getting that guidance. Sean Logan's a kid. Sean Logan's like 22 years old. You know what I mean? He's a kid. Hartenbauer's he's in that mid tier. Like he's not a rookie. He's not a veteran, but he's in that. He's been doing it for a while. Again, it's like he's on that trajectory to keep going. but he needs to be around a Vega and be around a Bravo in order for him to become that top level. He's going to pull up Sean Logan. Like that's a perfect ecosystem example.
There it is.
Bravo, Vega, Hardenbauer, Logan. It's like that's 4 tiers of wrestling experience, and that's why they've all grown. In the time we've put them all together, look at the girls. Sean Logan was a total rookie. And look at him now, like that kid's on his way to going somewhere. Hardenbauer was, he can't believe, like he tells me, it's like I pinch myself at sometimes but the fans I get, like people who come up, they're like, oh, I'm a big fan of yours. I made this shirt of you. I made this sign. I made you cookies, Top Rope Bacon made him cookies. He couldn't believe it. He was like, for me, like Josh Alexander's on this show. You made me cookies? Like, yeah, because you're awesome. It's like, that's happening. Those things are working. Like the ecosystem is replenishing itself and it's helping build itself. So it works, man. Like it totally works. But Vega leveled up totally. To me, I think he leveled up in a great way. I'm super excited to see this match with Ace Austin for the Heritage title, because it's been months in the making.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. It's like the circle of life, honestly. Well, you just did an awesome segue right into that.
Let's go.
So yeah, he has Ace Austin, who has been with you as long as some of these. If you look at the roster of the people who have been with you, I think Ace Austin would match like a Vega, not a Vega Fitch, excuse me, but he would match. He's been with you as long as maybe like Manders has and things like that. He's kind of been around a decent amount, I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's also a reliable Heritage champion. Like with this newfound confidence, and it doesn't seem like in the past you might think like Vega had this false confidence, like he was overcompensating.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's more. He realizes who he is more. So do you think he has a shot then of kind of completing this run he's been on?
Dude, Ace Austin is like one of the best in the game right now, hands down. Like,
okay,
that dude is Ace Austin has really. I mean, look at him. The Japan run he just had, the Impact stuff, Bullet Club. For me, like this is a huge opportunity for David Vega, because Ace Austin's had a huge year. So like, you have Ace Austin. You're looking at me really confused, Charlie. What did I say?
No, nothing.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm like, am I answering the wrong question?
No, you're not. You're not. I was. Sometimes when people are answering, I start reading the agenda to tee up the next question, and I think
what did I do so wrong here? Like,
confused at what I wrote. No, you're good. You're good.
No, but like, but because again, it's that rub, right? Like Ace Austin had a huge year. He went to this huge tour in Japan, Australia, and here comes Davey Vega now. He's getting this shot. Built up, taking shots like each other on Twitter, like Ace Austin say, like when we announced the thing with Impact that just happened, the title match, Ace Austin jumped in immediately. It's like, well, I'm also a AAW title holder too. Maybe we'll see what happens there. Like,
yeah,
it's nice. It's nice to see, like, he acknowledged it in his Impact canon. Like, I'm holding an AAW title too, and then him and Vega started insulting each other. It's like, yeah, not for long. He's like, yeah, screw you, Vega, and like they're just like going at each other. So. I think this is gonna be a definite show stealer. I honest to God, like, this is not me bullshitting. This one has been built so well for like 4 months.
Okay.
More like 5 months now, and maybe even 6. I like keep going, but I think it's been a while. Like, it's been building,
8.
Yeah, like it's just been building. I'm like, man, this is just like ready to go. It's like a powder keg, right? So
yeah,
keep an eye on this one. Keep an eye on this one for sure.
And I just want to remind, before we get too deep into the card, that was just a good segue, but I want to remind everyone, Destination Chicago, Thursday, September 1st, at the Logan Square Auditorium. It's an amazing venue. If you haven't been, you're missing out. Tickets are still available at aawpro.ticketleap.com. Only 3 stage seats and a handful of second row left.
Yeah.
So there's still options there. And it's streaming live on High Spots as well. But as TwoHeelsOnFace.com has written, there is nothing like a payoff at a live show, because we did write that article about. Yes. If I'm going to sit down and write the article, I'm going to slightly brag about it on an episode. That's just what we sign up for. Chris and I's top 5 live in-person AAW Pro moments. Did you happen to? I know I tagged you a bunch,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming did you happen to check that one out?
I did. I saw that. It was a great list. It's a list of matches. Like some of them, like the DJZ and Drew Galloway match. Like that's one that
that's a hidden gem.
I got a quote tweet from DJZ too, so I feel good about that. Yeah.
Nobody ever thought that would become what it was, and Drew wrote about it in his book. That was that special to him.
That's sick.
Oh, really?
Drew mentions that match in his autobiography. I'm like, holy shit, like it was cool. It was, to me, like there's a bunch of stuff like that. I mean, you have almost 20 years of history in this company. There's it's a long list, man. Great article. I highly recommend people check it out. I really thought you guys did a great job. So thank you for that.
It's all about. I mean, there's definitely 20 years worth of AAW history, but this is just 5 years of Charlie and I going to AAW and capturing those special matches, special moments, awesome. And one of them being, I think what was that was it the JLMT?
The most recent one, yes, I believe it was last year.
Fitch winning and then going on and winning the title, so that was super cool to be a part of.
Yeah, TwoSinFace.com for that. There's the the iconic photo of Penta and Phoenix in the ring with the Mexican flag. Like that photo could be that photo you could frame. You could that. It's just such an iconic photo for me in my head.
And the thing that gets overlooked with that one also is they did that match 20,000 times after that though. Like maybe Lucha Underground, and then it was AAW, and then from there on they took that match into a world tour.
It went everywhere, no question about it. So I mean, the fact that we had these matches sometimes blows my mind. I'm like, man, I can't believe you see where these guys are now. You're like, man, that happened. Like I was there. I worked on that show. Like that stuff's cool, man.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That I think I wanted to reminisce. I love those moments. I love AEW wrestling, and but nothing beats that in live experience, that payoff. Like you said, if something's been building, especially if something's been building for 6 months, and you get to see that payoff live. Tickets are still available for that. Is there any? Because you're so involved with Impact and AEW, are you still and there's been so many moments where I feel like you have had a small imprint on the brand, and like now the company you've poured your heart and soul out for, that belt is on an Impact show. Are you still getting pinch me moments like that with all the Impact AEW crossover and all the times you've kind of been mentioned doing their podcasts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm not involved in Impact. I don't work for them, but
it almost feels like you are sometimes, though.
Yeah,
you just have a little bit of an influence to me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan going back to day one, obviously, and I've done things I've worked with them. We all know that, but to me, seeing our title in their ring was awesome. To see that, and now we're doing crossover with them. Now we have something going on at Destination. If I can I segue into that because it's
please do. Please do.
So. We have a match announced. It's Masha Slamovich versus Josh Alexander. Already crazy as it is, being the intergender match between Masha and Josh, but Impact sanctioned the match to be for the title, the World Impact Heavyweight Championship. So that Josh Alexander currently holds. So
yes,
we got it. We got the okay to make it for the title, and it's going to be. So you're going to have an Impact World Title match on an AAW show now. It's like, hey, you feature our title, we got yours, So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. It's a nice little ping pong of camaraderie between the companies, and that think about it. You're gonna get to people who may not have ever been to an Impact show can go to an AAW show, aside from seeing all of our talent. I mean, who we have on it, and also Josh and Mosh were booked for us. But it's now they can go in and say, well, I saw an Impact title match too live. And that weekend is special. We're kicking off that weekend with, we're kicking off the party. It's all out weekend. So we're kicking it off with this Thursday night. We got, everybody's lipo taking off Friday. It's going to be a big blast. So you're going to see a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, title matches, street fights, you name it. It's a very unique show to be a part of. Because you're like, man, I saw this, I saw that. Why miss it at this point? There's no reason to miss it.
Absolutely. Masha Slamovich has a really cool name, a really cool look. I don't know much about her. Can you fill me in at all on her?
Listen, she's pretty new. You know, a lot of people
Okay.
don't know a lot about her. She's in Impact Wrestling, I believe. God, I want to say under 5 years she's been in.
Okay.
Quick rise. You know, she's had a quick rise in the business. She's doing pretty good in Impact, tearing through the Knockouts division, but a lot of people don't know her. Like, I had never seen her prior. A couple friends of mine had seen her out in India on the East Coast. Maybe it might have been Shikara before they closed down. And they're like, oh, because the name stands out, you know, Masha Slamovich.
It really does. It's just so cool. Yeah.
So I said I never knew of her until I saw her show up in Impact, and then we booked her. We got her for this show, and now I'm excited to see like her and Josh. I mean, she's tough, but Josh is like one of the absolute best in the world today. So that's going to be exciting to watch. I mean, from the spectacle of it alone. Just put them next to each other. You're like, what? When did Josh Alexander think he's going to fight Masha Slamovich? Like, what in the fuck? Like, what is going on? You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be, from a sheer aesthetic perspective, it's going to be just like, what am I seeing? Like, I got to see this now.
I want to credit AAW for doing more intergender. I feel like you guys have really made an effort to.
It depends on the match.
Yeah,
like
you're not forcing
can
it.
do it.
Sure.
You've seen promotions force it. You see promotions force all the time. Not everybody can do it. Like not every pair can pull it off.
Not every pair, yes.
You know, it's you got to be smart in how you put that together, and you gotta also vet the talent out, because like, everyone's going to say yes. Every talent says, yeah, sure. Yeah, because they don't want to be on a show. They don't want to say no to a booking, whatever. But you as a booker, as a matchmaker behind the scenes, have to know how to make it work. Because, again, it's not just like making the match look good. We have to sell the perception of, like, this is a good match. You have to let people know that you're coming into seeing a good match, and it's going to make sense. Proper hype, proper build, proper promos. Like, that's part of the deal, is giving it people that aura of a match. A lot of times the aura sells the match regardless. And to me, already this one has an interesting aura. So we'll see where we go.
It's Titan versus Titan, and almost, I don't know if Masha, if her or the person or the gimmick is associated with a certain country, but it feels War of the Countries a little bit, just I know Josh is Canadian. And Masha sounds, I don't know if she is Russian, the person, like I said, or the character. It sounds very War of the Countries, though, to me. So yeah,
I never thought of that. Yeah, I never thought of that. But yeah, you're right. But but I think it's a big break for Masha too. I mean, she's getting to fight Josh Alexander. You know, that's cool.
He's if you're gonna make a name in AEW and you can go with him, you pretty much got there. I think
he calls himself the gatekeeper, man. Like, you don't
Absolutely.
Cross the gate of AEW until you go through Josh. It's her debut. And like I said, Impact's like, go ahead and put the title on the line. I mean, they like Scott D'Amore's like, go for it, put the title on the line, see what happens. You know, like, so like, to me, I thought that was great. I thought that's a really good, again, part of the teaming up, some friendship there. You trust us. We trusted you guys. You did good by us with our title. We'll take care of your title. You know,
that's awesome.
It's good friends, man. It's good partnership.
That's cool. Speaking of titles, AEW Women's Championship, Christy James, who I know you are you're a big fan of her, versus Billy Starks, someone who I think everyone is I haven't heard a single negative thing about Billy Starks in like 2 years since I've known that she existed. Yeah. But she's still so young, but still way ahead of her schedule, I think. I don't know what schedule anyone's putting on her, but I feel like she's way ahead of it. Can you talk about this match?
So Billy Starks, I didn't know. I've only heard the name. I know her dad's the photographer. Mouse is a photographer in the Midwest. I only seen clips here and there. I never saw her work until she came in. She has a huge following. Like, Billy Starks has she has a cult following. People just really like her, and I mean, it's a fast track. It really is a fast track in terms of, she won a contenders match, but I mean, second match in the company, you already got a title match, and to me, it's like, it's a good stage. It's a big stage to be on. You know, I think it's no matter whatever you call it, like a title match is a featured match at a company, and dude, I'm a big fan of Christy James. I think Christy is one of the most underrated. I don't say underrated. She's just like one of the most like strong personas and personalities in wrestling today, especially in the women's division.
Okay.
You know, she's not over. To me, she's not overexposed. She's not everywhere. You know, you come to AAW, see Christy James in Chicago, like you get to see her here. You know.
Yeah, it's probably good for you. I was gonna say.
Well, it keeps it special. I mean, she's one of our, like, she's somebody you have to come here to see her. She likes, it creates the mystique of like, where you going to catch her. Like if she was working everywhere, it's like, it doesn't make it special to see her. But when you see her once a month at AAW, it's like, okay, cool. That's special. She's not here every weekend. And to me, she's built an amazing persona along with Ren Jones in her corner. Like she has really come into her own. And dude, the title win, like it was a story made for 3 years in the making. So I think Christy's one of the strongest characters and one of the strongest personalities in the game right now. And I think she's going to keep going up. She's moving at a pace that she likes to move at and build her character with and build her style and skill set with. And I think the match with Billy is going to be great. To me, it's going to be very different styles altogether. They're very different, the two of them. I don't see there's no similarity to me. So it's battle of skill. Who's going to really bring out the best in the other one?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one too. I honestly, I don't know much about Billy. I'll be honest. I know very little. I saw the one match she had for us. I've seen little clips online. So to me, this is a nice test. Like, okay, welcome to the company. Here's our champion. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, she's got like a heart of a lion and never give up, I think, mentality, Billy Starks. And
she's young as hell, right? 19.
So yeah, very young. And like I said, I think that everyone that's met her, she's left a good impression on. Good. So I think that can only help.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Talking about potential show stealers, right? We definitely have Laredo Kid, Zachary Wentz, Dante Leon, and Gringo Loco.
It's the local square auditorium, so you had to have Gringo.
True.
I mean, what can you say, right? Like all the names just mentioned. I mean, it's just don't sit down, don't blink, keep your phone ready. You know, like this is one of those matches where I mean, look, it's Zach's return. You know, Zach's return to the company. Laredo's killed it. Dante's always killed. Dante's like just caution to the wind. Gringo, when it's in that arena. And that's
his house.
It's his house, man. Like that Gringo's just not going to let anybody down, and he's just absolutely bananas. I can't. I'm not. If I put it this way, I'm not going to say anything else about this match because like you basically just have to witness this to understand what's going to happen.
Yeah,
like it's nuts. Like it's a spectacle. This match is purely a spectacle.
He doesn't drop the ball and he doesn't drop the person. Gringo Loco,
and he's the base god, man. No, but it's just. Like this is one of those matches where you're like, okay, you're about to just, all right, I'm gonna see just four guys absolutely like assault each other from every angle of the sky. You know, like just watch it, just watch this one because they're all good at what they do. Zach's return, first time in years he's back at AAW.
Yeah,
it was a rough patch, man. There was some shit came up. We all saw that things he went through some shit and he's getting back out there. You know, he's not in WWE anymore. He's getting back out there. So this is one step in that direction. So if you were a fan of the Rascals, you like Zach during his initial run, this is the time to see him again.
Yeah, they had a lot to do with Rascals. There was a lot of Rascals AEW matches. So
a lot of history with him and Dez.
A lot of history.
Yeah. So like I said, if you were a fan, if you have differences, you have issues with it still, I mean, by all means, please let us know. I mean, it's one of those things where I had a fan reach out to me and he was a little upset about it because things, I mean, I'm shooting straight here. Like,
yeah, no, I saw what happened with everything.
It made some people uncomfortable. And I offered, I said, look, if it does make you uncomfortable, I hate to see you not come to the show. I can offer to let you know when that match is. And if you do want to step away, if you want to, just do something, I'll go get a drink, up to you. Like, but just let us know at the door. So I'm totally letting people, like, some people are, things have been proven out, things have been spoken about. If you're still feeling comfortable with it, despite whatever's been proven and whatever's been discussed, just let us know at the door. We'll accommodate letting you know what time that match is or whatever it is. If you don't feel right, just let us know. It's not to hide behind anything. I mean, it's one of those things where people talk about it on Twitter, and like nobody will. I mean, I'll mention it. Like if it's something you want, if you want us to let you know when it's going to be, we'll tell you.
Sure. Yeah, that's big of you, I think, for reaching out like that and offering that option 100%. I think I totally get where that person is coming from 100%.
Sure.
I think you can.
People process things differently. People process things differently. Even if certain things are brought to light and they're proven wrong, whatever it may be, people process things differently. That's all.
Yeah, and you can still support everyone else on the show, I think, still by buying a ticket. Absolutely. There are many other people that deserve your support on the show. The one person I want to talk about too, who I just saw him at Freelance recently, was Josh C. Just personality to the stars. His personality, I think he's so charismatic. I think he can reach. It's crazy that he's with ACH because it's almost like they can reach the same level of intensity and their charisma. They're so charismatic, both of those individuals. I think Josh C. And maybe not like
Josh is someone that we've seen like grow over the years. Like he was not the Josh C we see now.
No, he came in he came in as a rookie. He worked for us on the pre-show, the Fight for the Future pre-shows. He's trained by Seth Rollins and Merrick Brave. He's a Black and Brave student.
Oh, cool.
Extremely charismatic. I mean, Josh C is like a young ACH. Not that ACH is old, but he's basically ACH.
That's kind of the comparison I was trying to make. Yeah, but I almost feel like he can sometimes turn his charisma even a little bit higher.
Oh, wait, yeah, he's definitely without a doubt. He's not. I mean, he's animated to hell. Like this dude is literally reaching through your TV. Like he's got it. He's got something. He's got. I mean, not that ACH didn't or that doesn't help, but I mean, Josh C is like just another level of like. You reach through the TV and just reach through and just then connect with you. The guy just has something. Like he gets it. He gets how to connect with the audience. A couple years in the business only. To me, that's mind blowing that he's that advanced already.
It's like natural timing that you can't teach. And he went toe to toe with Effie, and he literally was like, okay, Effie likes to play mind games with people. That's why we love his matches. But he literally like played those mind games. He's like, okay, I will play these fuck you mind games, Effie, and I will and like he was just right there with him with all his crazy shit. Yeah. So he's got the mental capacity for this sport 100%. So it's him and ACH, new champs in a rematch, right, against Hammerstone and Ace Perry for the tag titles.
Cash in the rematch immediately. They don't want to wait. Like they were like rematch immediately. Let's do it. They felt they got cheated out of them. It was a fluke, so they're going forward again. They were. I'm talking. That team was a complete sleeper hit to me. Like everybody on paper was like Ace Perry and Hammerstone, and then it turned into like this. Like what in the world are we seeing? Right? Like. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to see those two guys work out any differences they had, and
their personalities are different, but they work. You're saying
they work. Opposites attract. Like it's one of those. I mean, Hammerstone's a big muscle dude.
Yeah.
And like Ace Perry is like flamboyant and loud and arrogant. Like it's just who the hell? Like who are these two? But this is the match where pay attention. They're gonna look at you guys in the crowd a lot. Like there's a lot of crowd interaction on this one.
Yes.
Josh C always looking at the crowd for like something. Ace Perry pissing off the crowd. ACH kind of reacting a little bit. Hammerstone just being that beast. Again, another one. Our tag this for a tag match. This is going to be. If you saw the initial one, imagine the rematch. That's just look at it that way.
Yeah, and then. Rounding out the card is Silas Young, which you mentioned, versus Braden Lee and Levi Everett, who is a fantastic just bundle.
Who doesn't love Levi Everett?
Yeah, versus Ren Jones.
Amish street fight. Ren Jones, who literally looks like he just walked off of like a gold-plated like Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? Like that dude is just star powered. You know, always got a plane to catch, gold, dripping with gold. And he's like, what in the hell? This little Amish kid is a thorn in my side, man. But I'll tell you what, the chemistry with these two has been something unbelievable. I don't know what it is. Something about these two fighting each other just brings out the best in everyone involved. Even Perch. Perch like loses his mind during these matches. Watch Perch during a Levi Everett match.
We love for watch Perch all the time, but yeah, Perch will react to stuff so good. I wonder what's going to come out in an Amish street fight. Like, what are the? I know he's got the butter churner, and like, what is the other shit? He's like, what are the dirty tactics? You know, this isn't like pulling a shiv on someone. That's like a Chicago street fight. Like, what do the Amish? How do the Amish jump each other in the streets? Do they?
I mean, very properly.
It could be a drive-by, you know, on a horse carriage.
On a horse and buggy. Yeah. Like very properly, you know, all with the grace of God, the good Lord, that you take out a fight like this. Horse and buggy, slingshots and rocks, you know, like very primitive, very primitive street fight. But honest to God, I'll tell you right now, I have no idea what to expect for this one. I don't know anything. I cannot even pinpoint. I just know their last interactions have been hilarious. So I can't even tell you what this match is going to be. I can't even pinpoint at all where this starts, where it ends, and what comes of it. Don't know.
Yeah,
just watch it.
That's the beauty of it.
It's just an interesting title. The title of the match. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the title alone is just like, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing? I mean,
who got stoned and booked this?
You could leave this show and tell people on Friday, the next day, like, you know what I saw yesterday? Like, what? An Amish street fight in Chicago. Like, what? Logan Square, of all places, in Logan Square. This little Irish guy, or Amish guy, who churns butter in public, fought this like swag champ, gold-plated dude who just like looks like Deion Sanders stepping off of like a gold, like a golden jet. And they got into an Amish street fight in Logan Square. People are gonna be like, "What did you just say to me right now? What did you just say? You said an Amish guy fought a superstar athlete in the middle of Logan Square and there was butter involved? What are you saying right now?" Just imagine the conversation.
And there was butter involved.
There's butter involved.
Oh, it's okay. Is there anything we missed?
Well, you mentioned the match before. So we did the Amish street fight.
Silas and Braden Lee.
Man, I mean, watch the show. Their first encounter, how the crowd split. First they hated Silas, then they hated Braden, and then they hated Silas again. Like, it was crazy how that show just went, how the crowd made that match turn into like something even more. I mean, you saw it's young, it's veteran versus rookie. I mean, he's not totally a rookie, he's a couple years, but he's still young. I mean, it's veteran versus rookie. And it's like, I'm going to teach you something here today. You're going to learn in this match.
Yeah.
And the crowd first are like, yeah, get the young kid. Yeah, screw that old guy. And then Braden said something on the mic and the crowd turned on him completely.
Oh, shit.
And then Silas beat him up and then they turned on Silas. I mean, it was the heat in the room. What came of it was Braden being more fired up than ever, because he was like, he couldn't, like, it was amazing how that happened, because it just turned to one of those things where like it was just a regular match and it became an entire story of like young versus veteran, you know, like who's going to be, you know, I'm going to teach you something. It's like, no, I can hold my own. Well, I'm going to teach you. And it's like, you just saw that veteran instinct in Silas kick in, you know, and that Braden just being so driven by what the hell that's you can't write that stuff. Watch the crowd. They literally ping ponged on who they saw, and they went hard. When they started booing Braden, they tore him apart, you know. But then they saw how hard the kid worked during the match. They're like, damn, all right, yeah, go get him, you know. Like, so, and then he wanted another match. They did a tag match, which Braden's team won. Didn't get the pin on Silas on that one. So this is it. Like, this is like the okay, I want the one-on-one. I want the one-on-one rematch. So because he had a tag match, it was Braden and Beef versus Karam and Silas, and I think Beef pinned Karam. So the team won, but Braden didn't get the win over Silas.
I see. Yeah. It's good that it's good that the crowd can get involved in something like that, because they can really put that extra edge to a match. Because I've seen it the other way recently. I was rewatching a show, and I felt like I was really into the match, but then like it just never felt like there was, like when I was reacting, if the crowd wasn't reacting as well, it made me question, like, oh, does this stink? Like, I like it, but like it helps when that crowd is into it, because it almost like you ride that tidal wave. You're like, yeah, I really like this. Oh, the crowd does too. Oh, the crowd's making it better. Like, people now they're reacting to the crowd. Like, so it's if you can get them and hold on to them, it can really elevate your match to that next tier.
Clear example match of just taking a crowd for a ride. You know, they saw a young kid versus a guy who clearly looked like a veteran, who's a guy who's like, okay, this guy's been around the block, he knows. And the way they wrestled, and the crowd was like, okay, let's see what this kid's got. And, you know, he's not an imposing looking guy. Braden's not some.
No, if you look at him, I think he looks very, he's
a boy next door. You know, he's like a boy next door. He looks like a good old boy, you know. But his determination is nuts. I just seen the crowd take him, chew him up, spit him out, but then hug him at the end. Like, oh man, all right, now okay. You proved us wrong. You're a tough little fuck, you know. Like we're gonna back you now. So let's see what happens. And I'm dude, this match is gonna be cool as shit, because it's Braden. I mean, this is the real stuff. I mean, this is like no bullshit here. Like, this is a young kid trying to cut his teeth in the business. That's fact. This is not wrestling shit. This is a factual thing. This is a young kid who's fighting a 25-year veteran who's like, no matter what, you got to look good doing it. That's the bottom line. Yeah. He's got to look good and make those people believe that he's a player, he's a contender, that he deserves to keep going on. Because if he can't prove that to people, they're going to lose faith, and you're not going to get that backing from the crowd. But I saw it that day at that Logan show when the crowd tore him up, and then they respected him at the end after he lost. So to me, he has the ability to just make himself on this match now. No matter what happens, win or lose, Braden Lee coming out and looking as strong as he can in this match is going to make this kid's career.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a huge weekend, and I think a lot of people on this card have a golden opportunity to really take that next step. So
yeah,
there are tickets still available. Once again, aawpro.ticketleap.com. I'm sure if you go to the AAW Pro on Twitter, if you're watching this and on YouTube, you're seeing stuff flash on the screen. If you can't find it, you're not looking hard enough, honestly. But yeah, Chris, do you have anything else? That is all I have on the agenda. I don't know if you want to chime in with anything or.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a big weekend. It's a big platform, like you said, a lot of opportunities for people to shine and really show what they've been working on and leading us to this moment, right?
Yeah.
You know, matches that were not expected, matches that people wanted, because this is the culmination of things. It's just, again, AAW putting a great show at the Logan Square Auditorium, and it's just one of those, like, I think, just as an example, that Laredo Kid, Gringo Loco match, like just having them both on the card themselves, obviously you got me as a fan, but it's just one that you want to witness. You want to be there in person to see all the craziness that goes on. But then again, there are other matches that don't just have that one time, amazing factor to it, but they have a storyline that follows. So we talk here about wrestling as a buffet. Mm-hmm. You have a buffet of matches here.
Absolutely.
That you can definitely, walk out of that LSA, super satisfied.
Dude, that's a perfect way to put it. The show's a buffet. There's still more to be announced. We're in crunch time here, September 1st, but there is more to come. And so just keep your eyes peeled to the AAW socials. We'll see what else gets announced. But it's the ideas. Look, all bullshit aside, I mean the wrestling fans are converging on the town during this weekend. This is a bigger weekend. This is up there as some of the peak weekends of professional wrestling. And you want to make a good impression. They're coming to your house. It really is like, it's literally something like, you're coming to our house. This is Chicago. This is our city. So you're coming to our house. We have to give you the best. We want you to come back. We want people to leave our show and think about what they just saw. Talk about it. Follow us online. Become fans for the long run. Come to another show. Like, that's the idea. We have to make a good impression to a lot of new people who are coming to see us for the first time, along with a good impression to the people who support us all year long. So it's a very important show. It's a lot of I don't say pressure, but it's a lot of responsibility on our crew to make sure that we deliver something. Not just our in-ring crew, but our production. Like our production guys, our sound guys, our video crew. Our setup crew, you name it, management, owners, like there's a lot on us to make sure we deliver what we're promising.
Yeah. And I think we have the most faith that you'll come through. So
thanks, man. No, thank you guys for always supporting. Thanks to everybody. And definitely keep up with us, AAW Pro on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all there. So check it out. Be in touch. The one thing I will say, the AAW crew listens to feedback. They want to know what you like, what you didn't like.
Yeah.
We want to know what sucked, what didn't suck. If you want to see certain talents, drop the name, drop the line. We want to know what people are thinking, who people are keeping an eye on. It's a very open platform in that sense.
Awesome. That's really cool. I think people probably have that feedback, so it's good to have an outlet to channel it respectfully. Of course, everyone be respectful. And everyone, don't send Trent your booking ideas. He's got enough of his own. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Like I said, wrestling fans are always going to have booking ideas on Twitter, man. Like if you ask anybody, any wrestling fan, or just look at it like a hashtag thread on like a Monday or Wednesday or whatever, like you would think there's a million like Vince McMahon's out there that's just hiding in the shadows. We could just book 20 years of professional wrestling like in one night. Everybody. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody. Like, people have ideas, no question, but you have to look at everything that goes into it. But that being said, be open to giving your feedback. Everybody wants feedback, and every wrestling company, I don't care who it is, any promotion, us, our competitors, everybody wants to know what they're doing right and wrong, because that's how you learn. If anybody doesn't want to know what they're doing right and wrong, they're not trying to learn. But we want to know, like, you have booking ideas, put them out. I don't care. Like, who cares? Put them out. I'm not trying to dog anybody for it. But just consider everything that goes into it before you say, well, you should have done this. You guys suck because so-and-so didn't win. I would have booked it like this. It's like, look at the domino effect of things that can happen. So think about your decisions, what you want to see. But in the meantime, be open to us. Be open to what you want.
For sure.
Yeah.
Trent, where can people find you online? We know that we can reach out to AAW over at AAW Pro, but what about Trent?
Just, dude, honestly, put on AAW Pro. Let's focus this on the company. I'm around. You'll see me float around, yeah. But just put on AAW Pro. Just this is the big show coming up for us. I want to put all the attention on the company, honestly. Like, you'll see me floating around within the AAW stuff anyway. So follow the company, be a part of this ride, because we are going into Q4 basically, right? Like this starts the end of the year. This kicks off the end of the year now.
Man, it goes so quick.
Yeah, so that's it. Chicago leads into the tournament. Big stuff. Tournament, Windy City Classic. We got this is a huge time of year for us. So be a part of the ride. You're gonna have a good time watching that, and I guarantee there's some really fun stuff that you're gonna see over the next few months and the company. Really, really cool stuff is planned. So new stuff going on. We have the live show, which is our rookie showcase, which is we feature all the new talent coming up, is alive. We have the reaction show, which is all the raw reaction promos. So that's on YouTube as well. So check our YouTube out, AAW Pro. New shows, new content. There's a ton of stuff happening.
There's a ton of stuff on your YouTube channel.
There is.
Spend a lot of time there.
There is the AAW Pro podcast. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about that.
There's a new I was just about to plug that at the end. There's a new podcast that we've just kicked off, Redefined, AAW Redefined. It's our new it's our in-house podcast. Our taping schedule, I try to keep it to every other week right now. Tyler Voles and Kevin Kellum are the hosts. I jumped in to just fill in because Tyler couldn't make it. So I'm the floater guy if they ever need it. But the two voices of the company are the hosts. So it's Tyler and Kevin. and with the floater me if needed. But that's on our YouTube. It's going to be on all major podcast platforms too. So check that out.
For sure. Whenever you need him to float, he'll float. So you're always floating around doing something.
Always floating, man. Always floating. Busy, never sleeping though.
That's what we need to send the folks home because Trent needs to get some sleep.
I'm just I don't sleep, man, and it's starting to hit me now. I'm like 40 years old. Like it's really like, man, maybe I should have not pulled all those all-nighters, but and continue to do it, man. I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes.
Yeah, when coffee's not doing the job, then it's time to get some sleep.
You're absorbing life, man. You love life too much.
That's what you gotta do, man. I got one run at it. Might as well, So
for sure.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Trent. For the listeners, again, you can find Two Heels and a Face at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Two Heels and a Face, 2 Heels and a Face. Check out the website, twoheelsandaface.com. Check out that article regarding the AAW highlights or special moments. Written by Charlie. Clearly, I don't know the title of
it. Top 5 live moments that we've seen.
There you go. Top 5 live moments. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Trent. And we will hopefully see everyone at the next AAW show.
Destination Chicago 9-1. Can I do this? Can I get the soundbite? The era 2. Can I get that to leave? Can I get that at the end? You need sound bites.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
I need that one. I like that. That needs to be like its own soundbite.
I know. We got to keep that in, Chris. Let's keep that in.
Or like when one of you texts me, that needs to be my soundbite. Like, it's a text and it's like
your text tone.
2 heels. It's like I want that like as a standalone bite.
Done.
I love that.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Thank you,
listeners.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.